All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on something called AHCMOM304. Now, that might sound a bit technical, but really, it's the official blueprint for what it truly means to be a professional machinery operator. We're going to break down what separates the best from the rest.
So, let's start with a big question. What's the real difference between an amateur and a pro? I mean, is it just about having more hours under your belt? Well, not really. The key difference, the thing that really matters, is having a systematic, professional approach every single time you start a job. And that system, it's actually written down.
And that's where AHCOM304 comes in. This isn't just some friendly advice or a company policy. No, this is the official national standard. You can think of it as the agreed-upon playbook for anyone operating machinery safely and effectively in fields like agriculture, horticulture, or land management.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to follow the entire journey of a pro operator. First, we'll dive into the all-important pre-op checklist. Then we'll cover what safe and smart operation looks like in action. After that, we'll talk about the professional finish. And finally, we'll look at how you take all this knowledge and actually prove you can do it.
Okay, first up, the pre-op checklist. And look, it's so easy to just want to jump in the seat, turn the key, and get going, right? But what pros know is that the most important work of the entire day, it happens right here, before that engine ever roars to life.
So this isn't just a quick walk around. It is a formal process, kind of like a pilot doing their pre-flight checks. You start by confirming exactly what the task is and what the risks are. You actually, read the operator's manual. You scan the worksite for any potential hazards. You grab and put on the right protective gear. You do your detailed machine checks, and only then do you start attaching any extra equipment.
And these checks, they are absolutely not optional. We're talking about mandatory stuff. You have to look for any damage, and if you find something, you report it and tag it out of service. You've got to check your oil. You have to make sure you have enough fuel. And maybe most critically, you need to test your controls to make sure they're functioning perfectly before you start the actual work.
All right, pre-op is done, the machine's good to go. Now we transition into the next phase, safe and smart operation. The engine's running, the work is happening, and your focus completely shifts to staying in control and being aware of everything around you.
So while you're operating, 3 things are absolutely critical. First, you stick to the manufacturer's specifications. No winging it. Second, you're constantly listening and feeling how the machine is performing, making sure it's running efficiently. And third, and this one is so important, you are constantly, and I mean constantly, scanning for new hazards or any changes in the environment.
And this quote right here, it's pulled directly from the standard, and it perfectly captures the mindset. This is the golden rule. See, your job isn't just to move dirt or cut grass, it's to guarantee the safety of yourself, of everybody else on site, and of the expensive equipment you're using. It is a continuous loop of awareness.
So, the main job is done. Time to pack it in? Nope, not for a pro. How you finish the job is just as important as how you start it. This is what we call the professional finish. And this is the final checklist of the day. It starts with a safe and proper shutdown procedure. Then you do any little routine servicing that's needed. Greasing points, cleaning out filters. You have to immediately report any issues or damage you notice during the day. Then you clean the machine, secure it, and store it properly. And that last step, maintaining records, that's what sets the next person up for a safe start.
Okay, so we've seen the whole blueprint from start to finish. But how do you go from just knowing all this stuff in theory to being officially recognized as competent? Well, that's where we move from knowledge into practice.
See, an assessment for this standard is really broken into 2 key parts. First, there's the knowledge evidence. That's all the stuff you need to know in your head. The safety procedures, the operating principles, the why behind it all. But then comes the performance evidence. This is what you have to physically prove you can do. You have to demonstrate with your own hands that you can do the checks, operate safely, and shut down correctly.
And when you're being assessed, let me tell you, the conditions are strict. And for very good reason. It all has to happen in a real-world workplace. And there are some serious non-negotiables. You can't be under the influence of alcohol or drugs or any medication that could cloud your judgment. You can't be exhausted. And, of course, you must be using all the correct PPE and safety gear. Safety is paramount.
When you boil it all down, all the checklists, all the procedures, all the rules, it really comes down to this one powerful idea, your duty of care.
It's that professional responsibility to look after yourself, the people you work with, and the environment you're working in. That right there is the true sign of a pro.
So, now you've seen the blueprint. It's systematic, it's thorough, and every single part of it is designed to keep people safe. So the only question I have left for you is this. What's one small step you can take, starting today, to make your own work habits line up with this professional standard?